Hello YouTube. So it's Saturday evening and it's so bright in my car I absolutely can't read the phone to see what the hell the date and the time and shit is. It's Saturday, July 15th, 2023, 5:51 p.m. I think it's cooler today than it was anticipated to be. It was the prediction was 119. I think it's only got up to 115. So gee, that's great. My stuff has been sitting in the car for a little bit, so it's probably hot as hell. I've been waiting for Priscilla to show up. She says she's on her way, and just took a really long time. And I get that she's doing laundry, and that can sometimes take a long time. Oh yeah, no, it's 115. Just check the weather widget on the iPhone. It's getting harder and harder to lock my screen and reboot the iPhone. That button has gone from bad to really bad. I just had an argument with her. I just left her there. She's still in my place. I don't even understand where she's coming from anymore, and I don't even want to think about it. I mean, my needs are pretty simple. I need to eat. I need to have money to pay bills. I need to have sex on a regular basis. That's it. That's all. I mean, I've got some other likes, but those are pretty much the needs. If you're a woman and we've had a sexual relationship, and you're inviting me to stay the night at your place, you're inviting me to come over for an extended period of time, I expect that sex is going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, I'm disappointed and frustrated with that. So if you can't make time for at least a quickie, don't bother inviting me. Full stop. And I've told her that repeatedly, and apparently it's just the message is just lost on her. Completely lost on her. I don't know why the fuck I went this way. It's got me completely fucking out of focus. I need to get over to Royale Lounge. I really wanted to have my speakers set up earlier than this, but I've been sitting waiting for her and then wasting time with her arguing. Like, I don't have time for arguing. Like, either we're fucking or we're not fucking, and I have no desire to discuss it or argue about it. Like, and at one point I just got sick of listening to her bullshit. I was working on some stuff on my phone, so I just went into my living room and noticed that my neighbors that like to argue were arguing loudly. Resisted the temptation to record that because yeah, it was pretty freaking crazy and pretty freaking loud. And that's really saying something, because the walls between the apartments in my building are very thick. Like, you gotta be loud for that shit to carry through. Anyway, it's been quite a bit of day working on my blog, trying to edit it, and trying to get the next chapter posted. And at this point, I'm working on what would be the first video from July 5th, because yeah, I'm that behind, and I'm just dealing with the frustration of just either it telling me I don't have enough space to export it on my iPhone. I'm talking about iMovie. It's either telling me I don't have enough space to export. You know what? Fuck it, I'm just taking the towel the whole way. It's either telling me I don't have enough space to export, or it's not telling me, and then it proceeds to export 80% of it, 90% of it, or it looks like it's finishing it, and then when I think it's finished, because the pop-up telling me it's finished it's the exact same size and shape and font. Mind you, I got to get up on small fonts to read them. Looks like it's finished, and then I look at it and it says there was not enough space to export. And it's done that twice. Every time it does that, it completely fills up. It just fills up the cache within iMovie. So when I go into to look at my Windows system, or not Windows, but I'm sorry, we got somebody who needs to weave in and out of traffic to get to a red light. You're a winner, dude. So yeah, when I go to look at space that's being used, and he's still behind me. That's about perfect. Of course, he might be turning right at this light. So. Anyway, no. So when I get when I'm looking at the available space on my iPhone, and mind you, it shows a whole lot of available space that for whatever reason I iMovie can't seem to figure out how to use. All right, we got another guy weaving in and out of cars. So anyway, yeah, it keeps showing that it's filling more and more cache. And at this point, you know, when it says, because it'll show you two numbers, and I forget exactly how they're labeled, but one is the space that's taken by the program, and one is the space that's taken by like documents and cache or whatever. Things, basically what are functioning system files of that program. And it just gets bigger and bigger for every time it fails to export something with iMovie. And at this point, like, it's all the way up to like 9 gigs, 10 gigs, or something ridiculous like that. And granted, the video that I output is going to be fairly big. It's about 45 minutes long, but damn. I was really hoping I'd get it finished before Priscilla showed up. And actually, when she showed up, it was in the process of exporting, so I was exceptionally disappointed when I looked over and saw that it ran out of space. But I mean, she's there. I'm thinking, you know, she's shown up. She wants to cool off. She wants to cool off because it's 115 degrees outside, and she doesn't have air conditioning in her SUV. So, you know, I'm throwing it out there. Mind you, I'm wearing some like loose-fitting, not wearing like my cargo shorts. I'm wearing like loose-fitting like gym shorts and a t-shirt. Usually when I'm alone at home, I'm naked. Oh, and by the way, Adam disappeared. I don't know what time. I don't know what time he disappeared. He's posting his stuff in real time. My videos are longer and a little more involved. So, yeah. So, he posted a short already talking about how hot it is, and I'm like, dude, I offered you to stay at my place and stay in the air conditioning. Gave you access to fast-ass Wi-Fi to work on your YouTube channel, and my friend Corey brought bottled water over for the fridge, which was great. Brought over a movie, and Corey and Adam and I all watched I forget what the name of it is, but basically Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure Part 3, which I was so excited about that when it came out, and I was gonna see it like right when it came out, and I heard so many negative things about it that it kind of put me on the fence and went from, ooh, this is something I need to pre-order as soon as it's available on Blu-ray, to, yeah, I'll see it when I see it. Well, I saw it when I saw it, which was in the wee hours of the morning, this morning, and I enjoyed it. I think the people that were trying to say there was a woke message to it and it ruined the movie are kind of looking too far into things. I mean, you know, it was a dumb, goofy movie that's a long-awaited single to two other dumb, goofy movies. It's a shame it didn't feature Metro Center. It's a shame it didn't feature Golfland Sunsplash. Shit. I was trying to look at my temperature gauge, and for some reason I just turned off the car. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Okay, my temperature gauge is good. At this point, like, it's hard for me to see my temperature gauge because of the way the dashboard is arranged in here, because it's under like this shady thing, like right over here in the center of the dashboard. The dashboard's really weird on the Saturn Ion. In fact, when the Saturn Ion first came out, that was my biggest complaint, and I'm like, I never get used to the instrument panel being in the center of the car as opposed to in front of me. And I totally have got used to it. But yeah, it's got this big shade under it, and of course mine backlighting doesn't work, and it wouldn't be on right now anyway because my headlights are off. But yeah, it's just so bright with the sun I can't see it. Anyway, so I have no idea where Adam is. I hope he's doing all right. I hope he's not getting overly dehydrated. I had a good time with him last night, and a good time watching the movie last night. In fact, last night I'm kind of glad I chose not to deal with Priscilla's drama and the eventual disappointment of her not having any sex drive anymore. That's not what she's saying, but that's the only conclusion I could come to. At one point, I asked her point blank. It's like, does your vagina not like my dick anymore? Is that what's going on? And she couldn't answer that with a yes or no. I'm sorry, if I ask a yes or no question, I need a yes or a no. Or an I don't know or a none of your fucking business. It needs to be one of those things. Just, I don't want to answer that. I don't want you in my bedroom anymore. See you, bye. Hello and welcome back, YouTube. It is still Saturday, early evening. Thank you, car. It always has to get its 2 cents in. 6:44 p.m. I was there longer than I really thought this would take, but got into a good conversation with one of the regulars that was here last week, and I did. So basically, what I did is I set up my my speakers on the tripods. I got one at each end of the room. Got my table arranged the way that I want it. You know what? I keep going out this direction, and I know it's better to go out the other direction. It's really hard to see driving into the sun. Always trips me out how that bit of oak right there is kind of laid out like an alley. And it's not like all the streets in the neighborhoods are like that, because like that street isn't, and this street right here isn't. It's just oak. And I would love to know the history of why it's like that. I'm sure it's interesting, at least to me it would be. And I'm sure it has to do with how this area developed. There was a guy that was telling me at the bar last week about, at the Royal Lounge, about how this area used to be kind of remote farmland. I mean, keep in mind, everybody didn't have their big metal suits that drives them around quickly on freeways and whatnot. We were not the car culture that we are now. Back in the 1920s, granted, cars existed, but Model Ts, which went much slower and had it was just kind of a different thing. So anyway, what he was saying is when that bar was built and opened back then, that it was kind of out of town and out here in what was at the time was farmland, and there were just some random things around it. So it was on the outskirts of town when it was built. So I would love to check out some aerial photographs. I mean, I've looked at aerial photographs of Phoenix in different years, but now that I've kind of got that in my mind, I'd love to go check that sort of stuff out, and maybe I can find those online. I know I've seen some stuff like that online, but no time for that right now. I'm heading back home to grab the rest of my stuff and then right back to the bar. I think I popped Priscilla's brain when I left. She had actually texted me back and asked if I was coming back, and I wasn't paying attention to that phone. I was shooting a video, and then my text messages, come to my iPhone. I'm paying attention to Obamaphone 3, which I was video on, and as soon as I got in the bar, my focus was bringing my equipment in, and then all of a sudden, and this is an unexpected change in directions, but all of a sudden, the bartender hands me her cell phone and says, "Hey, it's for you," and I'm thinking, okay. And I'm just completely bewildered by that, like who would be calling me on her cell phone? And then I look at the screen as she's handed to me, it says Joyce, which is the manager of the bar, and then she starts kind of yelling at me like, "Hey, I told you I told you I'd have to come in last week, not every week." And perhaps she did. And I confused that, or I misunderstood that. I like things in writing. I like text messages. I like email, because I can go back and review them. I like video. But, what the hell? Oh, shit. Time getting into my lane right now, and somebody honked. I have no idea why. Anyway, that was a little unnerving. And I'm still bewildered that Carvana is still in business, but I'm not even going to get sidetracked on the Carvana thing right now. You can search Carvana on YouTube and find plenty of videos about what's wrong with Carvana. So anyway, where was I? So yeah, I come in the bar. I'm not paying attention to my phone, so I didn't get Priscilla's text message. What I did get was Joyce on the phone yelling at me that she didn't tell me it was every week, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I thought that what you'd said. And generally speaking, like when I'm hired to do karaoke, if it's a one-off thing, it's usually not a one-off thing anymore. Like, and if it's a one-off thing, it's very clear it's a one-off thing. And for some reason, like when she said that she'd give it a try, I thought she meant give it a try for, at least 2-3 weeks. One night isn't for a bar. For a bar gig, I don't consider one night to be giving it a try. I would say you need at least 4 consecutive weeks to have any idea of how a bar karaoke gig is going to go. And so maybe we're clear enough on that. And, but I mean, whatever, miscommunications happen. And I'm like, well, my bad. And at that point, I mean, if it would have been a miscommunication and I misunderstand, there would have been no hard feelings. I would have just, I hadn't really said it much. I don't even think I brought everything in yet at this point. In fact, I think I just brought in two tripods and 1 speaker. So yeah, I mean, if she just said it wasn't going on, I'd have been like, oh, okay, no, my bad, I misunderstood you, and I would have probably tried to sell her on having me do it since I was already there. But before I had a chance to do that, she goes, well, since you're already here, I'm going to go ahead and have you do it. And then we had this kind of awkward discussion, and God, I wish I had something in my ear that I could like click on to just record stuff, because my memory, everybody's memory is fallible, but my memory especially so. Yeah, like, so I don't know. I don't remember exactly what she said. I mean, I'm trying really hard to, and it seemed like she was kind of upset that I was there, and then I was like, and I guess upset that I hadn't called her, and I didn't think I had any obligation to call her, and I just said, that I'd been to the bar a couple times and I'd been getting nothing but positive feedback. I said it was my understanding that everything had went well last weekend. And she goes, oh yeah, no. She goes, no, it did. She goes, well, you need to call me. And I'm like, okay, my bad. I just kind of, I just generally operate under the assumption that no news is good news. And if there was a problem, that you'd let me know, because I know you've got my phone number and you've texted me and you've called me before. She goes, well, you need to stay in touch with me because I'm the boss. And I'm like, well, okay. I mean, I'm the boss of Karaoke by Dan, but, whatever. But I mean, I'm trying to be agreeable. I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to make this a win for everybody. Especially the people that really enjoyed karaoke last week and are looking forward to it this week. And people who were wanting to come last week and didn't make it and have been talking to me saying, hey, we're going to try to come out this week. I'm trying to build something here. Trying to keep my karaoke business, build it back into something viable again. And obviously, like a gig here is something that's going to possibly lead to other gigs elsewhere. On that note, I got a text message early this morning from Michael over at Newtown Saloon saying that he saw my card and just realized that I also do DJ and asked what I charge for that. And I don't have a flat fee that I charge. What I charge is basically negotiated per job. It depends on what time of the day it is and what time of the week and what equipment I need to bring and what I think the earning potential of your bar is and so on and so forth. There's so many variables, and I didn't go at length with that, but I texted him something to that effect. And I don't believe I've got a text back from him. And I'll get a hold of him later. I'm not going to just leave that on the vine. And I'm sure I'll see him later anyway. I see him pretty regularly as a regular over at Newtown Saloon. But anyway, yeah, the whole conversation with Joyce was like awkward and unexpected. And then she's like, well, give the phone back to, I just said the bartender's name. I forgot the bartender's name already. And I'm like, okay. So I don't know. She seemed kind of upset, but then she had me said to do the show anyway. So I don't know. I don't know quite what to think about that. And admittedly, a lot of times I kind of misunderstand people's tone of voice is generally lost on me about half the time. Body language is often lost on me. I'm on the spectrum. It just is what it is. You know, if you've got something to say to me, type it out and make sure it's worded clearly, and we will 100% be on the same page. And generally, whatever you say to me, in my head, I'm just turning it into text, and I'm treating it as if it was typed out and doing my best to remember it. But words fall off quickly because my memory has issues. Anyway, I'm still looking forward to a good night of karaoke, going forward business as usual. Kind of bewildered by what she said. Priscilla did say she was gonna get me some food. She asked if I was hungry. Of course, this was after she was refusing, after she was just basically telling me that she wasn't down for sex and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, and then she's just like she's already turned me down for sex. Like, why is she asking about food at this point? And she said that, and at this point, I'm already kind of frustrated. And I'm sitting and listening to the neighbors argue, and I think I responded something along the lines of, "I can get food at Taco Bell. I'm horny. I can get food at Taco." She asked if I was hungry. That was it. She goes, "Are you hungry?" I said, "No, I'm horny. I can get food later at Taco Bell." Not that I don't appreciate her giving me food when she gives me food, but I've got a whole world of options for food. Like, you're over here. There's one thing that I, generally speaking, can only get from you. Come on now. Anyway, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. But, I mean, you know, is she obligated? No, she's not. But if she expects any kind of loyalty from me, she's not going, or anything else from me, she's certainly not going about the right way of getting it.